Hey guys, welcome to Scorched Earth Tarot. This is going to be a general reading for the month of November for Gemini, Sun, Moon and Ascendant. If you don't know what your Moon and Ascendant signs are, have a look in the description box below. All the information you need is in there. Equally, if you would like a personal reading, all that information is down there as well as my social media links. So if you need to get in touch, everything's down there. What else to tell you? If you're a subscriber and you're returning, I really appreciate the support. Thank you very much. If you're not a subscriber, welcome. And please do consider subscribing. Helps the visibility of the channel and all that. And I'd be deeply, deeply grateful. What else? The retrograde is well and truly here. So if I fall over my words, I'm sorry. Had some massive technical difficulties yesterday. Predictably, with trying to upload videos and things, but hopefully today's going to go a little better. We'll see though. Yeah, the retrograde is in Scorpio as well, so really you could do with being prepared for lots of, you know, deep emotional stuff coming to the surface, people, situations, you know, emotional reactions, all that kind of thing. Anything that you haven't had a chance to properly process for whatever reason is likely to come back. To give you the opportunity to do that though, I should add. And it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. Right? Deal with it, close it off and move on. Simple as that. Right, with all that said, Gemini, let's stop fucking about and get some cards out. I'm going to have 3 cards for Gemini. Oh, it's like 6,000 cards just fell down there. Right. Literally flew across the room. I'm not going to take that because it just flipped, it didn't jump. I'll just get one more and then I'll show you what's going on. Leo just got this for that, in exactly the same place. We've got the 7 of Swords, air energy, that's you. 6 of Cups, this is my card of the past, so, you know, looks like retrogrades coming for you too. And then we've got the 8 of Swords, and that's your energy too. This is the card that Leo got in exactly the same spot in their reading too. On the bottom of the deck we have the High Priestess. It's not card number 2, the Major Arcana. Secrets, certainly internal stuff anyway. So I'm going to get some extra cards for clarity and then we'll get on with the reading. Why is the 7 of Swords here for Gemini? Page of Cups. Interesting. Gemini. 12 out. Got the 7 of Cups. Interesting. Why is these? Got the Emperor. Sprinted out of the deck, that card did. And the Hangman, that also just came out for Leo as well. Interesting. There's the 8 of Swords here for Gemini. The 8 of Cups. That's interesting. We've got the 7 and the 8 of Cups now. What's the 8 of Swords here? and the Magician. Interesting. Card on the bottom of the deck is the High Priestess. Again, that's the High Priestess on the bottom of both decks. Gemini, Gemini, what are you up to? So, first card you got is the Seven of Swords. Now, a lot of people call this the Thief card because it depicts, you know, this character collecting up swords from what looks like it's, you know, a set of circus tents or maybe army tents. Like, I always think of it as an army camp, because why would there be swords in a circus unless they were for, you know, knife swallowing and stuff? I don't know, just saying. And it's set at night, you know, and he's off. He's obviously not meant to be there, but he is. He's not meant to be taking swords, but he is. And he's kind of going. Now, on the standard Rider-Waite, there's more of a pantomime feel to it. Like, it's a very exaggerated kind of sneaking away. And that's where, like, the Thief card, the deception, you know, that's where those meanings come from. But on this card, it's more subtle. It feels more nuanced, right? Not only is he not there alone, there's somebody else there with him, but that someone is a child, right? And children are about innocence. They represent innocence in the tarot. And there's a sword lying down on the ground, and there's one in the child's hand there. So he's got 5 in the basket on the back, on his back. And the 5 of Swords is kind of shoddy behaviour as well, right? But for me, more consistently, shoddy behaviour. It's somebody who will say anything to win. It's somebody who will win at any costs. And here's this man putting 5 of those 7 swords into his bag, and he's leaving with them. Which makes me feel like this is more a card of taking a risk, or doing something a little bit under the radar, rather, but for a greater good, because he's taking those 5 swords, and the 5 swords as they were represented in the 5 of Swords is about unfair behaviour, it's about cheating, it's about manipulation, it's about somebody who'll say anything to win. This dude here is taking those away. And I feel like this is you, Gemini. You're having to do something, or you have had to do something, take it as it resonates to you. You've had to do something a little bit under the radar. And as a Gemini, that's not really like you, because you like to say your piece, and you like to, you know, let everybody know exactly what you're thinking. And if you think somebody else is behaving in a shitty manner, you're going to tell them, because that's what you do. But you're not doing that here. You're here in the depths of night, quietly putting swords into things and going, right? So there's an under the radar energy about this. This is what you've been up to. And I feel like, for whatever reason it is that you have, you know, you'll know better than I, it's actually for the best reasons. And it's secret, right? The High Priestess is underpinning this entire reading, not once, but twice. You are doing something on the download, but you're doing it for the right reasons. Or you have done it for the right reasons, you know, whichever it is. And then we've got the Page of Cups. Now, Page of Cups can talk about messages of love, and can often talk about apologies as well. But he's a funny character. You know, he's dressed in what I'm sure he thinks is the height of fashion, but he just looks slightly ridiculous. I'm drawn to these. For a card that has so much blue in it, I'm looking at the pink and feeling like I've never ever noticed before that his sleeves and his tights are pink. I'm sure I have. But if you'd asked me 30 seconds ago to colour in a picture of the Page of Cups, probably wouldn't have made them pink. I'm really drawn to it. I'm drawn to these pink flowers. The pink there on the page. Flowers. That's for someone. Someone understands what that is. Maybe somebody's brought you a bunch of pink flowers to apologise for something. I'm going to pull another card for that because I feel like I know where this is going, but I'd like clarification before I go any further. Because I don't think that this apology is you. I think this is somebody apologising to you for something. Just Page of Wands, and we've got the Three of Cups. Fire and water and energy, respectively. Now, there's a few ways of reading this, and one of them is that you've been in a third-party situation. I'm just going to throw it out there. It's a thing. And maybe you've just found out about it, and it was with a Sagittarian. And you're making moves to remove both yourself and any evidence of yourself being in this relationship. I can see that being a thing, particularly with the High Priestess here, because it's being on the down low. In fact, the more I look at it, the more I feel like this is actually the case, because here we've got the Seven of Cups, and the Seven of Cups is about options, and I feel like more specifically in this case, it's about you finding out that you have been an option rather than the one. Like, I don't think that you went into this situation. Got Sagittarius at the bottom of the deck again. Let's look at this. I don't think that you went into this situation necessarily knowing that this was the case, or if you did, you didn't realise that it was maybe as serious as it is. Because like these two cards together, you know, this apology is one of many apologies. You know, it's an option, you're an option. He's apologising to an option, the page. You know. But take it as it resonates. The gender's not important, the energy is. And then the Three of Cups, I feel like this is cups, 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 cups. You know, this is interpersonal relationships in some way. And it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It could be slightly different. It could be, well, you take it as it resonates to you, frankly. It's definitely relationships, interpersonal relationships, whether it's romantic or not, you'll know. And I've got this Page of Wands down here. Maybe this is the person that you're dealing with. The Page of Cups is the apology, and the Page of Wands is the person coming forwards. Could be the rising or the moon sign, it doesn't have to be the sun sign. It could just be in their chart somewhere. But there's a definite sense of movement here, right? This is movement away from a situation. Putting those Five Swords in your back and taking them away. Removing evidence from the scene. And then we've got all of these hefty cups. So this underhand behaviour, it's not underhand, that's a loaded statement, I don't want to use that. This under the radar behaviour is for the right reasons that you've been doing. Yeah. Because then we have the Six of Cups. Now the Six of Cups is just more fucking cups. You know? Like, but it's my card of the past, and it's my card of things coming back, and here we are in a fucking retrograde right now. Yeah. Can sometimes talk of children, but the cards that we've got underneath here, I don't think that that's the case. This is a past relationship of some description, and I feel like this is probably this past relationship, because you kind of snuck out of this one, right? You managed to keep yourself, your pride intact, and not get yourself into any more trouble than you needed to. It was quite discreet. I'm impressed. But here's the cups, the Six of Cups, and this is coming back, right? This is the card of coming back. And it's clarified by the Emperor. Now, the Emperor is Aries. But the sign's not important. If it was a person, the good traits are, you know, determined, successful, strategic. Keeps everything running smoothly. You know, although he's a fire sign, he's not necessarily the most romantic of people. You know, it's not a lot of fire in the belly. But he's dependable and he's reliable. And he takes his responsibilities extremely seriously. He's probably quite a serious character, all told, really. And remember that this could be a woman as well as a man. Stick there, as it resonates to you. But they're coming back. When they're not on the best behaviour, emperors can act well, like little emperors. There's a level of entitlement that comes with it. They can be actually pretty domineering, overbearing, insistent, you know. Not really respect your way of doing things because it's their way or the highway. That's very much the way that they operate. But it's coming with Hanged Man. Now, Hanged Man is the card of Pisces, and this is a very, very passive card. It's the most passive card in the deck, followed only, really closely, by the High Priestess, which we have twice on the board already. Now, this is a card of inaction. It's a card of not doing anything. So I feel like it's rather at odds with the energy of the Six of Cups. It is also a card of changing your perspective on things, and I should mention that. But I'm going to pull another couple of cards and see which way around it applies. Let's see, Emperor here. And I'll just get one for the Hanged Man as well. Yeah, see, I think they've been keeping an eye on you, Gemini. I think that's why the Hanged Man's here, because I don't actually get any kind of impression that they have changed their perspective on anything. I think that the Hanged Man is here because they've been hanging out, not doing anything, but actually paying fairly close attention to what it is that you've been doing. You know, we've got the Mother of Swords has come out here underneath the Emperor. And this is you, this is Gemini, right? And it came out with strength. Now, what the Emperor really, really respects is shows of strength, right? Okay. Until you get too strong and you start challenging his authority, and then he's not going to like that. He's going to have a little strop. But what he really, really respects about you is how strong you are. Now, here you are, right underneath. And he's been watching you. Page of Swords. And it's come up with the Wheel of Fortune. Another Sagittarius card. Right? He's just been hanging out, probably stalking your social media, seeing what you're doing, you know. I don't think he's been talking to people. I don't get any I don't get that much of an impression of communication with other people, so I don't think he's been talking to your friends or his friends, or, you know, I don't think he's been kind of pumping for people for information. I think this is probably pretty much all taken place online because he's resting. There's not much effort has gone into it. But he's mulling up whether he, she, they are mulling up over whether to get in touch with you. Because they like you. I don't get the impression that they've stopped having options either, though. I should bring that in. It's not like they've split up with their significant other and now they're kind of sniffing around you. I get very, very strong feeling that they're still very attached to whatever it was that they were before, but they've just been idly watching you, you know, admiring your strength from a distance. And now they're kind of, that's the Son of Swords. They are contemplating getting in touch. They've been fantasizing about bumping into you, you know, accidentally. I can hear that. Just one more for this person. Yep. They see you as the Nine of Pentacles. They see you as someone who's got their shit together, and they're like that. They're attracted to that. You know, very independent-minded, in charge of their own shit. They respect that. They like it. But I feel like they're singularly missing the point where the reason that you are like that is because you are, you know, not with them. You're doing your own thing. You're strong, you know. Like that. What a knob. Right. Then we've got the Eight of Swords, which means that your reading is bookmarked 7 and 8 with the 6 in the middle. And the Eight of Swords is about feeling really trapped and restricted by something. Although it's a swords card, there's a great deal of emotion implied in this card because, you know, like your feet are in the water, the waves are crashing around her. But it's a card of being stuck in your own head about something. You know, each one of these swords has been planted there, probably by you, but quite likely by other people as well. And you're there, kind of looking almost tied to the rock. You know, there's net all around her, and she's tied up with maybe seaweed. I'm not sure actually. And she's blindfolded. And it's a really dark, stormy night. You know. And this is the inside of your head in November, because I'm guessing what happens is that this person does make their approach, and it kind of throws you into turmoil a little bit. You know, you kind of slid on out of there before because it wasn't right. But obviously there was a connection there at some point. Because there are so many cards, so many cups on this side of the table. There was a connection there. You felt the connection, and that's why you were there in the first place. And it kind of pissed you off to have to, you know, slide on out. You felt like you lost something there. But you did it for the best reasons, for the greater good. And I think they make their approach, and it leaves you feeling like this. You're just like, shit, you know, I already made the decision to move away from this because it wasn't right. But they're coming back again. And there's that connection again. There's that thing that just worked between us. But I tell you what, Gemini, I see you not falling for it, because we've got... Sorry, Gemini, my battery went. And I started recording and then I realised I hadn't put the microphone back on. So awesome retrograde energy there. What I pulled in the interim, I asked why it was that you were walking away, and we came up with the Five of Swords. You don't want this energy anymore. You know, we said Five of Swords in the basket is what you were walking away from. You know, you didn't want any of this energy. And you're walking away from these cups and towards the Magician. And the Magician is often associated with the sign of Gemini. So you're actually walking towards yourself as a whole person, you know. And when I pulled more cards, what I got was the Hierophant and the Six of Wands. Now, what you want is not this Five of Swords energy. What you want is commitment, actually, is what you want. This is what victory looks like to you, you know. And these are the only circumstances under which you will consider proceeding with this situation. Because we've got the Eight of Cups on the table, and we've got the 7 cups back here. You know, what you need to make the 8 is this offer. I don't think you're going to take it. You know, it's going to leave you feeling a little bit tumultuous for a short period in the month of November. But ultimately, you're going to decide that actually you're worth more than this. Like, this is a self-worth issue here, and you're not prepared to be kept in the shadows, not by anyone. You're not going to do it. And why should you? Quite right. Why is the Magician here for Gemini? Why is the Magician here for Gemini? How interesting. We've got the Five of Cups and we've got the Two of Pentacles. Like, your inner balance, you know, is more important to you. You know, look at that lemniscate there with the colours, you know. This person fucks with your sense of self, and you're not having it, you know. You're not having it. And you don't want to have to regret anything. Five of Cups is you know, it's crying over spilt milk. You're not going to do that. Like, you're not. You already made the move to walk away. You were quite happy with that. And you're not second guessing yourself. You're not going back to that decision. It's not happening. Magician. Why is that? Oh, for fuck's sake. Literally just murdered that card there. Okay, Gemini, the battery died again, so I think I'm going to leave it there because I've said everything that I need to say. I'm just checking I've turned the microphone on. I have, good. You got this. You know what you're doing. You know, you've got a very strong sense of self. You're not going to be fucked about by anyone. You know, I just looked under the High Priestess, and we've got the Eight of Cups under there. Yeah, and underneath the High Priestess on the other deck, we've got the Three of Cups. Like, you're done with this situation. You know what the crack is. So I'm going to leave it there. If it resonated with you, I'd love it if you would like the video, so I know, because this can be a bit weird, sending these videos off into the ether. If you want to comment, that would be awesome. If you want to send me a message and talk about it, that's also cool. You know, whatever you like. And please subscribe. I'd love it if you subscribed. I'm going to be uploading content more often now, so if you subscribe, you'll get notified when all that's coming up and that sort of jazz, which is all terribly, terribly useful. So yeah, I'll see you next time.